In this video about digital engineering notebooks, we're going to talk about the rough purpose of your digital engineering notebook. We're going to turn in your first assignment for your project. We're going to talk about setting up your digital engineering notebook, like your table of contents, your page numbers, and what our expectations are for your digital engineering notebook. Now, as we work through this, make sure you have your CoinMover project assignment open, as well as the copy that you made of the CoinMover project, because we'll be working side by side on a few of these things. So first up is the purpose of your engineering notebook. And keep in mind that if you go to work for a firm, if you do some research, if you get a grant by some organization, that this is considered a legal document if anything were to go south, or if you needed to show what your ideas were to kind of prove that you're doing the stuff that you need to do. Now, obviously, I'm not paying you. There's no patents that are going to pop out of this thing. However, what our notebooks are going to do for us is this will give me an idea of how you approach the solution. It's going to show me when those events actually happened. It's going to prove that these ideas are actually yours. And it's also going to show your level of professionalism. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to turn this assignment in, which feels a little bit weird, but don't worry, you're going to be able to edit this stuff as we go. So with your CoinMover project assignment open, your screen should look like this, and I'm going to click on Start Assignment. And it will prompt you to put in a URL. So that URL is the link for your editable Google Slide document. So back in your copy of the engineering notebook, you're going to go up to Share. Instead of Restricted, you're going to click on Anyone with the link. You're going to change Viewer to Editor, and that is the link that you want copied right there. So if I copy that link, if I bounce back to the assignments, I'm just going to hit Control V to paste in that link, and I'm going to click on Submit Assignment, and you're good to go. But again, keep in mind that you are able to edit this stuff. This just allows me to see your progress as we go. And it will also allow you to not worry about the actual turn-in because we literally just did that. Now, one big thing for your sharing stuff, you should never, ever, ever, ever share this with anyone else but your teacher. Do not share it with your group mates, someone in another period. That is a massive, massive no-no. Additionally, my template is super boring. If you want to spruce it up, you are more than welcome to. Make sure that your content is professional. So do not put a bunch of stupid memes or weird pictures up there. That's not okay. But something like this, just to make things look nice and pretty, go for it. Go nuts. So let's start to set up the notebook itself. The first thing is mess with your table of contents. So just like in your physical notebook, we're going to have the major pieces of content and the date that you did it. You're not doing every single page that you create, but your rule of thumb is your content should be the headings within your design activity. So generate concepts, develop solution, construct and test, evaluate, present, reflect, define the problem, blah, 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 all that good stuff. So let's set that up right now. Your first section is going to be define the problem. So it might be a good idea just to throw that down in our heading up top here. And this is the first slide where I'm going to start to put my problem statement and my design constraints. Now to link my table of contents, I'm going to highlight this text and hit Control C to copy. And just because I'm lazy, I am going to paste it right in here, maybe make it a little bit smaller, put my date in there. And with the mighty power of Google Slides, I'm going to highlight that text and I'm going to click on Insert Link up in the top toolbar. And I want to link this to, what is that, slide 5? So I'm going to type in slide 5 until it pops up. And once I have all my content ready to go, I can always just click on slide 5 and that will allow me to pop back to the page that I'm looking for. So it makes our navigation a lot easier. Now let's look at some example engineering notebook pages. Now this one is absolute trash. Notice how There's no heading up top, which links back to the design activity. My calculations are kind of all over the place. There's no real path of your thought. My date's not even in there. I guess I have a page number. That's not so bad. And my picture is awful, right? It's oriented the wrong way. It looks like I was slanted when I took that picture. There's like table in the background. This is awful. This is an absolute trash slide. So if I were to modify it, change it up a little bit, I documented which subheading I was in. So I'm in the develop section of develop a solution. I cleaned the heck out of that picture. So I moved it 90 degrees. I cropped out all that other junk and actually made it bigger so that I could see the text that I put on there. And that's really important because sometimes you can't see the text that you've written as you do your work. I also took the calculations and I just kind of rearranged them on the slide so they're evenly spaced. Notice how they're all lined up, and it looks a lot more organized than it did before. Now, in a similar way, this version is perfectly fine as well, right? I got a big old picture. I can see everything. It's clear. There's no weird background. They chose to show me the calculations in reference to the location of the picture. So they kind of went step by step and showed where each of those were and showed me their answer down here to bring some of that focus. Again, perfect job. I love it. Keep that up. Now, there will be cases when you screw up. And if there's something that you need to go back and modify, you are welcome to do so. So let's say that I screwed up on my IMA calculation over here. And maybe on the 28th, I said, oh crap, I messed that up. I flip-flopped my effort and my resistance force, which screwed up all my calculations. You are welcome to go back as you would in your physical notebook and strike through your text as long as you slap in your initials and the date that you change that. Now, what you can't do is go back and add extra stuff. I can't do a paragraph of what I did that day. That's not acceptable. If there are little tiny things that you need to tweak or little baby mistakes, maybe you typed in 3 instead of 2, you can absolutely go back and change that stuff. That's perfectly fine. If there is a lot of blank space, you are welcome to draw a line and put your initials in. I would probably recommend that you just make things bigger to fill in that space. Now, the last thing that I'm going to leave you with is beware of pictures. This messes people up all the time. Make sure that your phone is parallel to your page. Make sure you crop out all of the junk in the background, only focus on the things that you need, and rotate it and blow it up so it documents the important stuff. So if you ever need to go back and revisit some of this stuff, you are welcome to in the video. There are also additional documentation ideas and examples that are in Canvas that you can use as well.